Welcome to Dramatic Pause, a Rose Theater podcast. On today's episode, we're featuring Lauren Krupski and Melissa Richter.
So I'm sitting with Lauren Krupski. Welcome, we're so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So tell me a little bit about how you first got involved at the Rose. Like, what made you decide to audition?
Well, my first ever experience at the Rose. Well, first of all, I went to the Emmy Gifford Theater when I was a kid. My dad would always get the family tickets to all the shows at the Emmy Gifford,
Sure.
which was the precursor to the Rose. And so I fell in love with theater that way, pretty much. And it was 8th grade. I auditioned for The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe here at the Rose. And I got in, and I was one of the little Narnia creatures that appeared just a couple times on stage, but it was everything to me. I was so excited to be on stage and to get a play pretend for real. And so then that sparked the love of theater in me, and I was always involved in choir and drama as much as I could, in school as well. But then, fast forward to 2011, there was a guest director here at the Rose and contacted me saying, hey, do you have any availability for February? We're doing The Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I said, yeah, of course. So that was 2011, had a little bit of a hiatus here at the Rose, and then I jumped back into auditioning in 2012, and I could probably, if I thought hard enough, could name all the shows, but
Sure.
It was The Fantastic Mr. Fox in 2011 that got me as an adult professional performer after going to college and
Sure.
moving away and coming home. That got me
Kind of back
on stage, yeah.
Sure, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then now you've done, and since then, you've done so many productions with us,
Yeah.
and you've played just a huge range of roles.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any that really stick out to you as ones that you just really, enjoyed or cherished?
Gosh, there's a lot. Specifically, characters that I love. The first one that jumps to mind is probably Princess Fiona in Shrek, the musical, a couple years ago. I loved doing... There's not really just a character that I love, but just there's certain shows that hold a special place in my heart because of either the director or just the cast. And every show here is... Not to cop out, but every show is special in its own certain ways.
Sure.
I love doing A Christmas Story. That was really fun. A Year with Frog and Toad was really fun. George and Martha, tons of fun.
Oh yes, that's a great one.
That was a really, really fun show. A couple years ago, the True Story of the Three Little Pigs.
Oh,
that was
yes.
a really fun show because it was unlike any I've ever done, in which the audience would get to decide the end of the show. So
Sure.
we had to learn two different endings of the show, whether the wolf was found guilty or innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, he was found innocent almost every show because the wolf was played by Dan Chevalier.
Right, and how can you say?
Right, even
Right?
though, and I played the lawyer that was trying to convict him, even though he said he did it, and I'm like, he said he did it, and he's guilty. But anyway, every show there's some funny story, there's some special memory that I have with it. So
Sure.
and it's funny. I think I've played some sort of animal more times than I've played a human being.
Sure.
Which it's funny though. This year I've played more people than animals.
Right, yes,
Which is
and let's
funny.
talk about this season,
Yeah.
because this is going to be a season where start to finish you'll have been in 5 shows this year, and so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
started coming back for Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat, which I did 5 years ago.
Right,
I played
yep,
the fish.
and now you were back as the cat.
As the cat,
Right, but otherwise pretty much a totally different cast. You and Sue, right?
Sue and I were the only two that came back from the original production 5 years ago, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, great start.
Yeah, a lot of fun, a very high energy performance, and we had great crowds because who doesn't love the Cat in the Hat?
Right, of
It's very
course.
fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And then moving into Ella Enchanted, where you got to play an evil stepsister in that show.
No, I was actually the fairy godmother.
Oh, you're right. You're the
Yep.
fairy godmother in that show.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
Lucinda.
quirky- Yes. No, well, I guess technically Lucinda is a fairy and not a person, but
Still, yes, more human than not.
More human than not, yes. She did not have any sort of ears or tail, but she was a lot of fun because she was flighty and funny and just her own agenda throughout the whole production. And
yes, very
quirky. A fabulous costume.
Oh my gosh, and a great on-stage costume change.
Gosh. Oh yes, God, who doesn't love a reveal?
Right, beautiful romper,
velvet jumpsuit. Come on. Yeah, and then Elf again after doing it last year as well.
Yep, coming back for Elf.
How could you say no to that show?
Right. Such a fun show. And that was very much more a similar cast. Only a few new faces. So
yeah, that was a lot of the same folks coming back for that one.
So a little more kind of like returning to something.
Yeah, I was worried that usually when I finish a show, it's like, okay, that information, those lines, those songs are out of my brain. And when we started rehearsals again for that show, specifically doing the big tap number in Sparkle Jolly, I was like, oh man, I don't remember any of this. But then the music came on and my muscle memory kind of took over and I was like, oh yes, oh, it's all coming back to me now. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was
feeling like, oh, I'm one step ahead already. This is great. Rather than the year before, it was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. This is so much.
Sure, right. Yeah. And then now we're right on the coattails of finishing Howie D back in the day, the world premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has that been? I mean, very definitely the kind of show that the Rose likes to put on, but definitely totally different working with a true celebrity. Right.
Well, this is my third world premiere at the Rose. Pete the Cat and Prancer were the other ones. But I was a part of the workshop that they did a year prior, which was just the sitting down, working with the script and the music. Right. So I sort of knew what I was getting myself into. But Matt asked me to be a part of it again. And 12-year-old Lauren was like freaking out because it's like, oh my God, he's a Backstreet Boy. Like my early high school years were the big like boy band, Britney, Christina, like early 2000s. Like that was my early high school career. So I was like, that is so exciting to work with Howie. And it's just been amazing. Like he's super, super nice, very easy to work with, very gracious, and it's the show is truly a passion project for him, and he's just so earnest and lovely, and the process has been fun, but also it's a new work, so new lines are getting added, things are taken out, songs are worked
lots
out.
Of changes, even close to right before you open.
Yeah, so it kept us on our toes, definitely. But we're going into closing weekend, which is bittersweet. I'm sad to see it go, but at the same time, like you said, this will be my fourth show in a row.
Right.
So I'm excited to get just, a little bit of...
Yes, just the smallest of breathing room.
Right, the smallest of breathing room to gear up for the Sound of Music.
Then the Sound of Music, right. Yeah. So now... this is going to be our June show. It's our big premium event, which you're no stranger to.
I've never been a part of, actually.
Oh, you haven't done the June show?
I've never done the summer show before.
Gotcha. So you've been involved with the premium event in December.
Yes,
Prancer, Elf, right.
Christmas Story, yep.
But this will be your first June one.
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun, different experience, too. How exciting.
Yeah.
So then, and I... imagine, like, can you tell me how you feel about something like, did you grow up with the movie? Have you seen the musical on stage? Did you watch the live version? Where are you at with Sound of Music?
So as most, I guess, musical theater actors grew up basically idolizing Julie Andrews. My mom, ever since I was young, she sort of instilled in me the love of music as well as old movies. So I'm pretty sure it was her that introduced me to the Sound of Music movie. And I would watch it with my sister, who's not as big of a fan as I am, but she would stick it out until the marionette scene, because that was her favorite scene. But then as soon as that scene was over, she'd peace out, and I finished the movie myself. But Julie Andrews is literally my idol, and I always said it was a bucket list thing of mine to play a role that Julie has played. And so now, oh my gosh, I'm like, I get to scratch that off my bucket list, and I am so excited to take this on / terrified because it is so iconic to a lot of people, but also to me. Like I'm gonna be putting a lot of pressure on myself to do well, to put my own spin on it, and not just emulate everything that I've memorized from watching the movie so many times.
Sure.
But I am just beyond excited.
So as far as, coming into this show, is there anything, now Matt's directing, right? And so you've worked with Matt before, so clearly you guys have chemistry, you're looking forward to that process, like you're looking forward to just kind of seeing.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to working with Matt. We've worked together multiple times, but I've never been in a production with him where I've been more than just either ensemble or supporting role.
Sure.
So I'm excited to take on the lead role of a show, which I have also never been the lead role in a musical here at the Rose.
Oh, okay.
I've played, I think The Cat in the Hat was my first lead, the lead of the show, title character.
Sure.
But I've never played the lead of a musical at the Rose.
Okay.
So that's
you're checking a whole bunch of lists here.
I'm checking a bunch of boxes off, but I'm excited to work more closely with Matt than I ever have.
Yeah.
Like, we vibe well and we work together well, and I like him as a person. So I'm excited to explore a bit more director-actor relationship.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
And I know it's really early on, but especially as you kind of, get to take a little break and try to come into this. But, when it comes to The Sound of Music, when the Rose picks shows, they really try to think about what's the message, what's the goal, what kind of lessons do we want people to take away from these kinds of shows.
Yeah.
And as far as like you playing Maria, what's one thing that you really hope the crowd connects with, whether it be from your character or from the show as a whole?
Sure. I mean, like I said before, The Sound of Music and Julie Andrews, like all of that is iconic. The movie and the rolling hills of Austria, like, it's iconic. But I hope that people can see past their preconceived notions of what the show should be or could be, and really just go on that journey with us and see that maybe some of the themes in the show from World War II are maybe applicable to today's world about overcoming the evils of the world and standing strong in your beliefs and not backing down to bullies at whatever level that is. But also, like, Maria to me is the constant optimist, but also she's a realist as well. Like, she will put on a happy face, she'll sing the song about the favorite things to cheer her, and which, putting my musical theater nerd glasses on, she sings with the Mother Superior before she leaves for the Von Trapp house, but in the movie she sings with the kids in a thunderstorm, but in the musical version, that's when the Lonely Goat Herd is sang during the thunderstorm. Nerd. Pushes up glasses. But yeah, she's an optimist. She believes that people are good, but she can see the world around her changing, and she can see these children who need maybe more than just a happy face, and tries to give that to them.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really great. We're so excited to have you. I'm so glad that you stopped by just for a few minutes today.
Yeah.